there we go. And all right, recording is on now, everybody. So we have Cody and Melvin are going to lead their brain thought process while they go through a competition. And Melvin will talk his way through Windows image, and Cody will talk his through Linux image. And Melvin, if you want to talk a little bit about just your strategy and thinking process while Cody's doing his work to extract Linux, that'd be great.
Unfortunately, disclaimer, I am nowhere near a senior. I'm still a freshman, still fresh out of middle school.
Well, tell us a little bit. How many years have you been competing?
2.
So you got more years than some people. So that's, and you guys do great. I mean, to be honest, you're a solid team, even in the high school level. So, that your knowledge really, and actually being newer really does help the new competitors understand, how your head is when you're there. You especially, Melvin, I remember a lot, you and both Cody have a lot of questions that were really nice questions, and they weren't always technical. They were, hey, can we do this? Can we do that? So remember, you're trying to help people out that have never played before or are super interested, but like super worried about it.
So you shouldn't be worried. You have 6 hours to worry over it.
Mr. Osborne, quick question for you. Can I reboot back into Linux to get like the full experience and stuff like that?
You should be able to.
Okay, so I'll leave the meeting and then join back on my.
Are you gonna run Zoom through Linux?
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, thank you.
Specifically, are you Windows 10 or Windows 2016? Sarah.
I'm Windows 10.
Oh, okay. I wish Eric was here. He's really good, Eric. He got 100 points in the first round.
Can you get a hold of Eric and see if he can jump in later?
Okay, I'll see.
Discord him or whatever. Thank you, Melvin. I appreciate that, because I know we have a couple seniors. A lot of people aren't coming, I guess, because I don't know, it's Saturday and they're tired of looking at screens would be my guess, but it could also be that they didn't get the message because they weren't at the meeting. So
seniors probably have a lot of homework, weekend homework.
Well, and they have extended essays due coming up, right? So our seniors and juniors are, if they're in IB right now, are super swamped. So as freshmen and sophomores, get your system down now so that you don't have to worry about your system as much as we get into the third and fourth year of competition. That's a good knowledge tip.
So then I guess I'll just talk about the steps of doing Windows 2016, or just Windows in general. I think you're muted.
Sorry about that. Yeah, it's very similar the whole time. So yeah, so anyways, I was saying, Melvin, I'm sorry. It's very similar, Windows. There are certain things you have to do in server, maybe disabling a service or taking different services down or turning on services in server, whereas Windows, most of it's all set up for you, basically. So, servers have a lot more options to them, and they can handle a lot more connections at one time, so securing them is a little different. Okay, sir, about how long do you think you'll come back till you come back? My daughter's school goes till noon, so we'll keep the recording going, and Melvin will talk a little bit about what he does anyway with server, because the knowledge is good, and then we'll share the recording too. But please feel free to come back anytime.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, that's hard. I mean, if you've got Korean school, Japanese school, Chinese school, mom and dad really want you there, we got to support that. I'm totally behind that. So. All right.
Hello, I'm back now.
Hey, is it working on Linux fine?
Yep, everything works fine.
That's nice.
I just wanted to switch to Linux because like everything is more snappy and like
For
I can
you?
have like real split screen windows, because on Windows, Discord, when you resize the window, it doesn't snap to like the minimum size is more than half the screen, so I
Oh,
can
really?
have Discord and Zoom open on the same screen at the same time.
That makes it difficult.
Yeah.
Sarah had to go back to her Korean school for now, so
That's
she'll
fine.
come back when she's can get out of that. But all right, so
Okay, so
you're
the
on,
first thing
man.
we
You
want
are
to
the
do is
Linux guru, and Melvin will pick your brain as you go. So
okay. So first thing I do is open VMware. Let's just skip this for now. Open a VM, and we want to point it to the VMX file inside the archive that we downloaded and extract it to. They say not to do this, but usually I just add more RAM and more CPU cores to make the image like run faster. Yeah, that's basically it. Save the image, power it on. You want to click on copy for this. And usually what I like to do is if your cursor is like a lock like this, you do Control-Alt-Enter, and that just like puts the whole thing in full screen.
how'd you do that?
Control-Alt-Enter.
Control-Alt-Enter. Thank you.
Mr. Osman, do you have the like a fake team ID that I could use, or do I just
Yeah,
use
let me pull it up for you right now.
Okay, thank you.
Let's see. I'm just trying to find one here. What's your team number, Cody? We'll just use yours.
Oh,
Team
I should have mine then. It's 0195.
0195. Here we go. ZYAQ.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. Thank you though.
Okay, yeah,
I
yeah.
found it. I have it pinned somewhere in Discord.
Oh, cool.
Oops, that didn't work. Okay, so after you have the UID set, the first thing I do is just go to the README. What I do sometimes do is, okay, let's go say okay to this. Do Control-Enter again to release the image, and then I just open up a separate window on Chrome. Can you guys see this?
Yep.
Okay, so I just open up another window on Chrome and put in the README, so I just have it on a separate window. And then I can close this now. And the first thing I do when I do, I just ignore everything up here and I look at the users first. That's one of the easiest like things to do inside when you first start an image. So to do user auditing stuff, you would hold on. Go to settings. I haven't used 16.04 in so long, so everything's like kind of mismatched for me. And then you would go to user accounts, unlock this, and you would need your password, which is right here listed. Another hack that I have sometimes is when you have to set up a new secure password after you set the password policies. I just use the extraction image the extraction code because it has all like the uppercase, lowercase symbols and numbers that I need.
What is that now you do? That's a good tip right there. Could you repeat it?
I use the extraction image code because that has all the stuff that I need inside the password.
Perfect.
So once you unlock the user accounts window, then you can start deleting and adding account and stuff that you need. So let's go through this list and see which accounts are improperly configured. So right here, csnow should be it's an authorized user, but it's not an administrator. So what we could do is just click that, set that to standard, then we move on, and that will save it right there. You don't have to like click apply or anything like that. Ethan. H. Allen is a standard user. And if I accidentally miss some of these, you could just like unmute yourself and tell me that I missed one of them.
Okay.
Okay, Denver. So I just gained points for setting that the role for the user. So if I open up the score report really quick, you can see that I got 1 point for that. And then I'm about to get another because this user K Danvers isn't in the listed users. So if you just click the minus sign down here, and that just removes everything. You just also want to delete their files as well. Elsnart. Oh, one tip about that, you might want to be careful because sometimes the forensics questions ask for some file in that user directory, and if you delete that, the only way to get that back is to restart the image. So you just want to be wary of that.
Okay, so sometimes they ask, like the forensics questions will ask you to look at the files before you delete them.
Yeah.
Right. So before you start deleting files, read the forensics questions.
Yeah, that's also a good idea.
Yeah.
This user right here, R# is not listed in. It's not listed in neither the admins or users, so we just also delete that, right? Could someone like check that for me? I think, yeah, we just delete that.
Well, is he an authorized administrator of some sort or authorized
He wasn't
user?
listed anywhere.
Okay. Bye R#.
Okay, so that W West is a generated account. I think that's all we need to do. If any of you guys want to look back at any of these and tell me, I don't think we missed any. I'll just go back once more and check the permissions for each user. Standard. Administrator, standard. Admin. Also an admin. Also an admin. Okay, I think that's all we need to do for this. And I'll just move on to forensics questions. So basically my mindset for this is going from the easiest one to the hardest one. To find these MP3 files, what you could do is use the terminal and use the find command, but I haven't used Linux commands in so long that I've forgotten them. So you could go through computer in the root directory here. You just search for *.mp3, and what the asterisk does is it's a wildcard. So anything that ends in the mp3 file extension should pop up here, and then you could just delete it if it lets me. Yeah, I should have prefaced this to say that I haven't done like cybersecurity stuff on Linux for a really long time, so I might have forgotten some of it by now. No shame. I just looked up a terminal like command thing, and I'll run that and tell everyone what the syntax for the command is. So the command is find, and this just finds any files. The / is for the directory that we want to find, so we want to look throughout the entire computer. -iname looks for the file name, and then this is the part where we put in the file name. So again, *.mp3 for all the mp3 files, and we want to do /print to print out the files. Oh, I need to run that in sudo, forgot. So what you could do is, since I already ran the break command, I don't think that I could use sudo !! But what that does is, I guess it works, but what that command does, it runs the previous command as sudo. And what sudo is basically like the admin command, so that it gives you more power, lets you do some stuff that's normally limited to like the basic users. And even if you're administrator on the computer, that doesn't mean that you always have sudo permission. So you have to run that explicitly. So let's put in the password, and I'll just say this, but on Linux, the passwords don't show up in characters. So if you mess something up, you have to start all over with Control-C, and that basically just breaks the existing process. And here, let me just resize this really quick. We can see, oh, that's not good. We can see that all of the music files can be found in the /home/balin/downloads and Allegro Classical. So what we could do is just open up to here. Since we're on the VLN account, we just click on downloads, find this, and then to permanently delete any files, you can do Shift delete, but what they want us to do first is to find the path that leads to that. So I'll just copy this, and another hack is that when you're using the terminal, Control-C is used for break. So if you want to copy something, it's Control-Shift-C. And if you want to paste something, it's Control-Shift-V. Okay, so once I have this, I just paste it in here. You want to leave out the last slash for this. Control-S to save. It's saving the file down here. And then I just close it. But another tip is if you just type this into the terminal, then it won't work because there's a space right here. So what you have to do before invalid characters like the space, you have to do a backslash. Or if you put the whole thing in quotes, then that also like makes it work. Cancel because I already saved that. Let's close this. Close without saving. Let's minimize this for now. And then since we have the files here, we could just delete them with Shift Delete to permanently delete them. And then let's check the scoring report once again. We have that, the user stuff, and then we have the forensics question 1. So after this, we can just, the second question is asking us to find the user ID. So hold on, I have to search this up again because once again, I forgot all of the.
Oh, that's good. And knowing how to search that stuff up is really important. So I'm glad you're doing that.
Yeah, also a good tip.
Unfortunately, I never remember forensics questions, so I have to search it up each time.
So the place we can find these, all the user IDs and stuff is in /etc/password. And since the terminal automatically kicks us into the /home/ whatever your user is, you have to do cd double period, and that goes back one. Do it again. Personally, this command is really, I don't like the way it is set up for Linux because in Windows, you can just do cd space /, and that takes you back to the very beginning.
Right.
And whereas in this, you have to do it twice. So let's do, and by the way, cd just stands for change directory.
Does cd star work? I'm just curious.
I don't
Oh, no.
think so.
No, got it.
Okay, so what you do when you're in this root is you can use dir, which is directory, to list it, or ls, which is also list. So I use the dir, and that has all of the folders. So we want to go into etc. So we do cd etc. But also, if you know the directory of etc, you could just skip one and go straight to the folder with another /. So it's password with like that. Oh, I have to put in the /. Oh, I have to put in the / before etc. Password, right? Don't know what it is. cd etc dir. Oh, password isn't it's not a folder, so I could do gedit sudo gedit password. Again, put in my password. So another tip I'd like to say is, like, if you just have one thing open, like one terminal open, you don't have to put in the sudo password multiple times. So let's just go down here, find the user ID for Saboteur right here, 1015. Let's minimize all this. Put in 1015.
If I can real quick, if you wanted to go back to the root directory, I believe straight, you go cd space /, and then if you just want to go back to your own personal home directory, it's cd space tilde, which is over the tab key.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, just a side note. I knew there was ways to do it.
Yeah, after I say this, you can just close it, and you want to wait for the scoring report to update again. Another tip is if you just click the stop scoring thing, it shows you when the next time the image will refresh for points. So just like avoid clicking this right now, but you can wait until this refreshes and then you'll get your points for that. No, let's just wait and see if it gives us any points.
I have a question. What is the gedit thing that you did?
Oh, gedit stands for graphical editor, so it's basically like a text editor. You could also use Vim or Nano, but those are like not. I wouldn't like. They're not the easiest to like use for new users. So gedit has like a graphical prompt, so like you can like click and drag and stuff like that.
What's the Windows equivalent to that? Is that like Notepad for you?
It's basically Notepad, yeah.
Okay.
So after we have this, you can just close this. Or also if you, let me just open this again. I just got the points for that. If you open it again and you forget that this is open, but you want to stop this so that you can go to the next command you have, you could also do Control C. That just breaks it, and that also closes the whatever process you're running. So now that we have that, usually the third forensics question is quite a bit harder. So this question basically asks us about the user group injustice. So what we have to do is find the user groups and see which users are in there. And that's a bad habit of mine. Let's just find whichever. Okay, we can close one of these terminals. I'll have to search out one of the commands again.
That's good though. I mean, actually that's better so that people know how you find commands and how you use those searches. So make sure you show that. Thank you, Cody.
So I just hold on. I have to move this over. Oof. Okay, so sometimes Linux tends to freeze on me, so that's not good. I'll provide it a few seconds. It should just like come back. If not, then it would have to like restart. Okay, there we go. So now when Linux should be fine. Just open Chrome. Put it over.
In other words, be patient, don't panic, and have a backup plan.
Also, everything breaks in the last 5 minutes, and you also, well, I didn't do this, but you should also have like a running, not tally, but like keep records of what you did and the passwords you set for each individual user and stuff like that. So in case you have to start over or your image locks up without like telling you, and you can't access the scoring report again, you're basically toasting. You have to start over. So you have that. I just wanted to search for user groups command in Linux. And it says right here, it's the /etc/group. But if I find, there's right here, you need to use the groups command. So I could just use groups. Okay, I might have to go into the etc file. So there. I don't know if this works, but in Windows, if you do dir/w, okay, that doesn't work. But in Windows, if you do dir/w, it opens it like prompt by prompt, so you don't have to scroll up and like this, since it's like, especially in 3 columns, it's not super easy to access.
You don't want 3 columns. You want it by page, right?
Yeah, that's what /w does.
Try /p.
that doesn't work either. So anyways, we want to go to the group file. So sudo gedit group. And since these files are used for, these are the system files, you also want to use sudo when you access them. Otherwise, they just won't open. Or either that, or you can't like edit them.
Try ls space pipe.
Is it ls space pipe like that?
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't work.
All right. Oh.
Another thing for terminal is you can use the arrow keys to like go through the different commands that you've run. Like there's a history thing. So the original question one, if we can find that, the original question wanted us to find the users in the group Injustice. So we look through here. Could find Injustice here, the 4 members: Elsnar, Savitar, Ethan, and G-Rod. So I could copy this, but then I also wanted to show there's a command called cat, and what that does is basically lists the contents of a document, and you could do that in cat, sudo cat group, and then use that in junction with the grep command, which is basically looking for a specific word within the file. So I have to, well, it's, I mean, again, I don't memorize all these, and it's also good practice to like search all of this up in case you don't remember. So we do sudo cat group, and then we just put the word in. So we want Injustice, and theoretically it should just like highlight the line where Injustice shows, and we could just copy the 4 members from there. So we have the line right here, and we have the 4 users here. So that, so I just, when you're in gedit, it's not necessary to use control like shift and stuff like that. So down right here, Savitar, and then we just delete everything from here. Again, control S to save. And that just closes out when you're done. Oh, let's check the stop scoring thing again. It will refresh in 10 seconds. For now, I'd have to check my checklist because I'm not, I mean, I'm good with Linux, but like in terms of competition, I haven't used one of their images in a long time. So there we just got points for that. If I can refresh this, there's 1, 2, 3. We have the user auditing, and we have the media files. And so off the top of my head, while I wait for my checklist to load in, one thing that I can remember is to, one thing you could do is do the password policy stuff. So off the top of my head, I think that should be, I think it's, if I do ls, it just lists all the, so if you use ls, these things right here are, if they're like bolded in like different color, those are folders, and these ones that are written normally right here are just normal files. So we just go to cdpm.t, run a directory command, and then if you do ls again, password is a standard file, so we could do sudo gedit password. Oh, that's not it. Hold on, I have to go through my checklist again. Again, it's also good practice to have like the checklist open like on the same, I guess like the same machine, so that you can like go back and forth. So this is just like a checklist that I have. This was from last year. Okay, so let's see. I also have some commands over here for changing password and stuff like that. I guess while this continues, I could just run some commands for updating. So that would be, since this is 16.04, there's no apt, so you have to use apt/get, apt-get, update, and then the double, this is an operator, and so if update goes through, then that means the next command will also go through. And then once again, find the password. Okay, so there's nothing to update. Okay, there doesn't seem anything to update. So what we could do is, I think it's update dash manager, and that should also, yeah, that also opens up this. It says it's up to date. So if anyone like knows if there has to be some service that needs to be enabled or something for this to work, then please tell me. Okay, so the passwords, let's see. I think if we go back to the upper directory and run that again, common password. Oh, there's no common password, but there's common. Oh, I think it might be login.defs. So if you edit login.defs, and then I think that was it. Is it? Let's check this again. Login.defs. So we have to find. You could do Control F, I think, to find like the different strings that you're looking for. So pass underscore max. So that just took us out. Pass max. So just put our cursor right here. So we want to change these to a secure value. So that would be, let me check. It should be max age should be 30. Let's put this to minimum age of 1, and I think that should be okay. Yeah, I would have to open up a different checklist because this one right here doesn't have the correct, like it doesn't list specific values that it wants me to set up. And I have to drag this over there. So for the in the meantime, we could just I'll just use this command prompt and go to cd, and then if I go into cd etc, go into password again. Nope. Oh, it's pam.d. Do this, and then I think right here in common password, you can do sudo gedit common password. Does that open up? Okay, there we go. We can add this to the first line without using the # symbol. So let's delete this. Throw that. Did I not copy? There we go. Okay, so that should be like that. We can just close this now after we put the command in. Oh, cancel. I forgot that we still have this open, so we just save this. Click the X next to that tab. Give me one moment while I look through the checklist again. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to leak this checklist out because it's just for my team as well as Eric's team. So what we could do is like make a different version of this and then put that in. But I don't think I could show this. Let's refresh again. We got the password. Oh, I don't remember setting a password for that, so I think that should be accidental. We might need to go back and set a new password though. So let's go to this. Okay, so I guess we want the password to be max days should be 7 days. Oh, max days is it should be 90, minimum is 7, and we want the warn age to be 14. Okay, let's save this with Control S. Close this. I think I might need to go back to the common password file again to make some changes. So basically what these pound signs do is it basically like invalidates the command so that only these ones without the things actually run, because this is not only a text file, but it's also like something that the computer uses for the password configuration. So any line like this is runnable, and anything like this is just like an annotation, like a comment, so you can't run this. So everything looks okay. Let's just close this. We want to also do the lockout policy. So enter, open up comment off. And if anyone has a question, please tell me, because like I'm just monotoning through all of this. So at end of line with m._tally. I don't think there are any things here. I guess I could just throw this at the bottom. Yeah, it tells me to look for a line that has pam_tally2.so in there, but it doesn't seem to show, so I'll just throw it at the end. Close that. Let's go to the settings again and enable automatic updates. Settings, software updates. I think it should be this. I'm not sure though. Yeah, settings updates. We want it to do check for updates daily. And then I think once again we'll have to put in the password. Okay. Was that it? Okay, I'll just open up this again. Oh, I think what I did was I set up the password thing incorrectly, so I have to, well, it's using one of these, so I have to go and change my password right now. Let's see what I need to do. Oh yeah, I could just use that extraction code if I can find it. If not, I could just use the one that I used last time. And that would be, let's see if I have anything open to change password. Okay, I can just use password and then the user, which is B Allen. Current Unix password is enter new Unix password, and then you just put in your new one. 7cc exclamation point 1 2 3 4, and then it just makes you do it again for safety. Oh, passwords do not match. Let's do that again. work? Okay, so the password is updated successfully, and I think the only issue with this was that I set up the password policies earlier, and that did not allow the old password to work. So let's put in the new one. 2EB87CC 1234. Does that work? Oh, that's odd. So I'll have to check back with that later, but we could do daily for this. Does that also not allow me to set a password? TCT 2EP87C /1234. I guess that doesn't work for me either. I guess I could try doing this from a different user account, so another mod. So I'll just use PS Pivot since the password's easier. I guess that doesn't work. I might have to open this. I think if I open this with sudo, then it might work. So after finish update settings. Okay, there we go. When I open that with sudo, it allows me to recommended update, important security update. What else does the image say? Okay, so notify. Just looks like it. I guess there's no live patch setup for this, but that's okay. Reload, it'll download everything again, and we might get some updates then. Okay, so there's all the updates that we need to do. Since my Wi-Fi isn't necessarily the fastest, we'll just let that go in the background while we do some other stuff. So it just occurred to me that I haven't done any of the other apps that are
Did you just get some points? Was that what the noise was?
Yeah, that was some points. Let me check what those were for. That's updating. This is also working. 70 points. So that was from the updates. And then check for updates daily.
Nice, good job.
Thank you. So what was it? Okay, so let's go back to this. We want to go into the apps. And we just find stuff that isn't necessary for like a work computer and if you're not sure about any of these, you could just easily like search it up and stuff. So let me do that really quickly. I just already have it open. And you want to put like whatever the app is and then Linux so that you can see if it pertains specifically to Linux. You'd also want to check if you can like delete it or disable it. So I'm not sure what color lever is, so we might have to delete that. Yeah, I think we need to delete this. Click on that. Oh, it's the Ubuntu search plugin. Okay, I guess we can keep that then. Another search plugin. I think we need Facebook, so I guess we could disable that. It doesn't allow us to. Oh, these are the dash plugins. Never mind. We don't need this, so I'll just re-enable that just because we had it before. Close this. Open up the apps. All of these look fine, except for this iced tea web control panel. You could delete that. If we need it, let me just go through these first and see which ones we need to get rid of. Yeah, again, I haven't been on Ubuntu 16.04 for so long that I've forgotten all the pre-bundled software. So again, if anyone has anything to say, then please tell me. Oh, while we're here, we could just also do firewall, which you could also launch from here, but you could also go from the terminal, and the command would be sudo gufw, and then put in the password. Sorry, I just have to look it back.
Cody, real quick, if I can. When you type in passwords, don't forget this in competition when you get nervous. When nothing happens when you're typing in a password, it's supposed to be that way.
Yeah.
Again, kids freak out about, oh my God, my password is not working, because they get tired or whatever. And it's like, just relax. It's, it's going in. Just watch your fingers if you're not getting the getting in. And then also I sent you a link in chat, Cody, that has some how to use the page different things for Linux. So you can look at that if you want to demonstrate that later.
Did I set my password incorrectly, or the old password doesn't work either. I think I might be locked out of the image now. That was not a good idea. Let's try that again. And what SU does is the single user, so it basically, it's not root, but it's sort of like it bypasses the sudo thing, so you don't have to do that. TCT to EB 7Z capital C exclamation point 1, 2, 3, 4. It's always root with these images. Let's try one more time. Okay, so it's not a caps lock issue. What I could do though is go from a different user, since let's sudo go to single user mode as ps pivot. Password for them is THAWN25.
Yeah, that was going to be my suggestion, but so the permission is denied, so they don't have the right access. Do you have someone who has the access?
I don't have sudo, but then again, I'm stuck with the same problem, which is that I have to authenticate with VLN's credentials, which I might have messed up somewhere. 2EB87CC.
Caps lock?
I tried that and it didn't work. If I ask for, let's see, password, and then let's go for a different user. Oh, let me try one for a standard user. If nothing else works, I could just do a little like sidetrack, go boot into the recovery mode, and then mount the whole partition as root and reset the password from there. But for now, I just could wait for this to finish installing.
Hey, Sarah. Welcome back.
Mr. Osborne, do you have the Windows? Wow. Let me check. Oh, it's updating. It's fine. It'll. Yeah, no worries there.
Sure does scare you
I got
though.
scared for a moment because SSHD should be one of the critical service that they need, but it's just updating right now. So after like a reboot or something, it should just go back to normal.
So what happens is that service disabled while it was updating. And
Yeah.
so when it does that, the system scores it and says, oh, you disabled the service you shouldn't have. But in reality, it's just updating, doing its job. So before you go into a complete and total panic when you hear that sound, because that's what it's supposed to make you do, make sure you remember what you were doing. Because, you know, if you forgot, oh my God, I'm doing updates because it went in the background, you were doing something else and you heard that noise, you might do something that interrupted updates and then you'd be in trouble. You don't want to interrupt that. So I don't know. That's just my 2 bits.
If I type in the password to like a standard window, does that work? EB87.
So what he's doing now is checking to make sure his password's right.
And then what I could do is just copy this, and then again inside is not closing. But in here, you could just, when you do Control-Shift-V, and that just like paste whatever text you had. So password create Unix password, press Control-Shift-V, press Enter. If that doesn't work.
Does that mean the password is not right?
No, but that's exactly the way that I typed it in. So I must have made a mistake somewhere. That's very odd.
Could you use because you do use Control C, Control V, right? So if you Control C the password when you're updating it, you might have had something from a previous Control C, Control V. You follow what I'm saying?
Let me check again. I don't think there's a clipboard thing that's, yeah, it's just a password.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but like say while you were working on that user and you set the password.
Oh, I might have.
You see, you know what I mean? So when you were setting the password, you might have used what's it called? Sometimes when you Control C, it doesn't always take. So whatever was on the clipboard before that is what got pasted in as the password. I've done it and I've had stupid things in there like a star and a whatever. That's just a little tip. I can't tell how many times I've pasted the wrong thing because my clipboard was still had the old previous thing on it.
Oh, okay, let's start over with that. CH password, put in the username, colon. Oh, is there like a special character I need to do, something like that?
You got some points.
Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, it's just the service that got enabled again.
Did give us that scary alarm.
Yeah. Sometimes during competition, what I'd like to do is just go into the CyberPatriots files and just like play the sound over and over again to like get people scared. Kind of an evil thing to do, but
after 4.5, 5 hours, anything to get you going.
Yeah. I can't find it on this image though.
All right.
Without know how the command works, ch password. Allen, put in the password, enter. Oh, that works.
You got it?
Oh, it says token manipulation error, so it didn't work. I guess if nothing else works, I could just use one of the other admin accounts,
right,
and then sign from there, and then perform the same command. Have the updates finished? Oh wow, this is on 4.4.0. That's quite old.
What does that mean? You just said, oh, wow, that's really old. So for the people who really don't understand the age of files and versions and stuff that they need to watch for, because sometimes going too new messes you up too. Can you talk about that or talk to that point?
So basically what this is, it's the kernel version. And since this is 16.04, meaning April 2016, this is running an older version of the kernel because, let me see if I can run a terminal on my computer at home here, and we run the command uname, which is, I mean, this is all sidetrack stuff. So uname -a, it lists right here that my kernel version is 5.8.0, but that's only because I'm running a new version of Linux right here. So it's basically unimportant for the standard like CyberPatriot competitor.
Right.
So after we do this, let's just minimize this for now. I want to try the password thing again, see if it works. There does not seem to be anything, so I guess we could close this. I may end up locked out of the image though. Let's close this since it won't close by itself. Close this. What do we have open? Let's close settings and then finally let's restart and then wait for that to restart. Wow, that was fast. Yeah, I guess that password doesn't work, so we could just try a different one. Different user, I mean. Oh, I also have to get rid of that guest account later. Does that not work? If that doesn't work, I could just remount the image and stuff like that. Okay, so let's just try to restart this for now. Power, reset guest. Yes. And then I'm just casually mashing the shift key because that will take me into the prompt thing. Does that not work? Let's try this again. Oh, that was too fast for me. Oh, I think you just have to like spam it and not hold it. Let's try that again. Power and reset. Yes. I don't think that worked either.
So the initial password got changed somehow?
Yeah.
So were you changing passwords or making adjustments to users?
I think I was. That's why.
So now you got to try to go through some of those password changes you made. This is where documentation comes in handy. Just saying.
Yeah. I mean, I had the password written down, but I guess I just typed it in wrong.
Oh, well, that's a bummer.
Yeah, I guess TTY doesn't work either, so it's just alt left. If we can. If we can check some of these. There is no boot order for this. Yeah. If I can reboot the image and go from there we go. I need to check which command to use. Okay, so advanced options. Oh, was that not it? Oh, it's right here. Recovery mode. Okay, so what we want to do is go to drop to root shell. Press enter. So what we want to do here is mount -rw -o remount /. So I'm not sure what O does, but what -rw does, it mounts it as rewritable, or I think it might be read and write, and then remount just remounts it. Go back to the image, set enter. Now that we have that, we go to ls/home, find the user we want to do, which is B Allen. So we want to do password B Allen, enter new password. So as you can see here, it doesn't ask us for the previous password. So I'll do this again. Hopefully I don't mess up this time. TCT 70, capital C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Does that change? Okay, so now that that's changed, I can do sudo reboot. I mean, I really need sudo there, but it's also like it's just another habit. Now that I have that, let's try to sign in again. Maybe if I could reboot the image and try to set an easier password, that might work. Power reset. And I guess shift doesn't work, so we just have to spam escape every time the image boots up. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, there we go. We want to go to advanced options, find the recovery mode. Go to root again, enter. I wonder what happens if I click Control D. Oh, that doesn't work. Okay. Enter for maintenance. Oh, I think there's no other argument for that. Oops. Okay, let's just try the password from here. 115500. I think the password has to be set somehow, or either that or I must have messed up when I entered one of
Can you try the original password they gave you?
I don't think that would work. IR. Yeah, it doesn't work.
Try it with caps lock on. I know it sounds dumb.
I mean, I tried the password that I just set, and that didn't work either. So it might have been one of the.
I wonder what's going on then. Did we delete a file or deactivate a service that it needs?
I don't think I can access GDM without using one of the accounts, so. Oh, I must have forgotten to set the. Let's do the password. Allen. I think it says no. It said that you couldn't use symbols, so let's try just numbers and letters. Oh, that should work. Now if I try Allen, at. I might be locked out of the image now.
What would cause that? What would lock you out of the image completely? Just a deleted file?
It might have been the things I set up in. If I could undo those, then it might fix. Group. CPGT. Let's render again. Find dot. And now we would have to use Nano or Vim for this because there's no graphical user interface for this. Nano, comment on. There we go. Let's try to find this. Undo that. Control O to save. Enter. Control X to exit. Do this. Then let's try the command again. Let's go to single user mode as Allen. Then test a sudo prompt. Oops, I messed up.
You're just using the up arrow key to get your command in quickly, right?
Yeah. That doesn't work either, so we might have to check one of the other password things. To be completely honest, it's not really that hard to find the issues within an image, but like stuff like this, like troubleshooting, and this stuff is actually what is like a lot harder.
Yeah.
Where like skill comes in instead of just like going off of a checklist.
Well, and thinking it through, like you're thinking like, where could I do this or how could I do this and stuff like that. And that comes from some experience, but also knowing what resources to look at and being able to understand it.
Yeah. That also doesn't work. Did I do something? Oops.
I'll share the recording with you and you can go back and see what you did.
Okay, thank you. If we're in EC, we could just check nano groups. Oh, is that not a file? Oh, it's group. My mistake. There we go. Let's see which users are allowed sudo access. I think we can check that within here. VLAN has sudo permissions. So I found it a lot more difficult to recover from like an incident like this on Linux than it is with Windows. Let's resume normal boot.
Well, I'm not sure if you can use hacking software on an image to get to a password like that. So
I mean, did it just kick me back in?
what happened there?
It just kicked me back in. That was very odd. Am I in the Allen?
Yeah, you are. Now you just got to remember what you just did.
Yeah.
You were just trying so many things. That's so
weird.
Yeah, that was pretty funny actually. You're like, oh.
Yeah, it just happened randomly. I didn't. Oh, I think it undid the password policies. It might have.
Oh, it finally refreshed.
Yeah, that was so weird.
So
I
can you explain
not have expected that to happen.
So can you explain what happened? What you did and
I
then
really
what happened?
because I don't know what I did. It might have been the
file modification where you took out the password policy, isn't that it?
I don't think so. It was because I was logged in as root and then I exited and then resumed.
So now you got to go back and put that in.
Yeah.
But
it's a catch-22.
Right. So double check your password though before you do anything.
Okay, so let's
try. Or maybe it's what? Maybe it's where it is positioned in the file. I don't know. Sometimes that does it. You might want to. You know what I would do before you put it back in is Google that whole thing and double check, make sure it's working okay. You know, I mean, double check and see if there's a change with this version. Right? Did that make sense to you, Cody?
Could you repeat that, please?
Google the process that you're going to do to get those points back and see if this version of Linux that they're running has a different like a key switch or something at the end of the command that you're going to add to it. So as you're making your adjustment to the file for the policy, make sure that there's not something you're missing there. Because sometimes like depending on versions, like there's some commands that were deprecated, but because this is an older version of Linux, this might have a different command or key or a switch or something you need to put in so that it's that. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hey, Melvin, if you would, I sent out an email to the school email and it has the new logins for NetLab. Would you mind checking it for me and seeing if your login works?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so I guess the only way I'm in here is because I logged in as root and then I selected to go back straight into the Ubuntu.
Oh, okay. Interesting. That's a neat workaround.
But yeah, I don't have any sudo privileges. Or if I did, then I would have to boot back into recovery mode. Get stuff from there because the root account is not unlocked for.
Yeah, they do that. They do. Well, I think in competition, they don't let you have that typically anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which email address do I use for NetLab?
Your school email, the one with your student ID.
Is there no list command? List.
It works.
Great. Can you tell me what courses are listed there? What class? You're listed in CyberPatriot, but we have several courses, correct? Oh, I know what I need.
We have a lot, yes.
Yeah, I put a lot in, but I have to add some now. Now I'm thinking about it. Because we have the new Cisco content. Where is our Cisco content? There's firewalls, there's... Yeah, but I don't have the new Cisco content in there. All right, I'm going to have to make some adjustments.
I guess right now what I could do is do like the Firefox pop-up stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we've got about 20 minutes or so to finish up. If you want to finish with that, that's good. I've already got 2 requests for the recording because people couldn't attend. So what I'm going to do is share the recording with you first and have you go through it, see if there's anything you want to adjust or make notes to, and then let me know and I'll make a video of it so we can do the adjustments. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Lock pop-up windows. Now that I have that, it should just, when I close, open the scoring report, it might not be running. Okay, if this doesn't update, then I'll just go back into okay. How many points was that? 70? Okay, let's cancel this. I want to shut down, or not shut down, but reset the image again so that I can access root accounts so that I can get some stuff uninstalled with apt-get. Because since I did that, sudo commands no longer work within Ubuntu, like the graphical user interface.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's try this now. Anyways, quick tip, the -y that I put at the end of this command, right here, I can release the cursor.
Mm-hmm.
What that does is basically it just, every time you run one of these apt-get commands, it asks you like for confirmation, and if you do -y, it basically means you're just agreeing to everything. So it just does it without asking you for any other questions. We need to uninstall FTP. So anyways, what I just did was I uninstalled Nmap and Zenmap since that was a software that we didn't want. And then now I'll do FTP. So sudo apt-get remove pure FTPD. That's pure FTPD is the service for FTP in Ubuntu. Again, /y. And we also need to enable the firewall. So sudo ufw enable. Firewall is active. Let me check through this again. If I look through the README once again, I think it was Jay Wells who didn't have a strong password, so I'll change that too. Not that it matters because I can't use any of the passwords to log in.
And what happened? Why did you lose that access?
I don't know as well.
Okay. So that could be a troubleshooting thing then. Okay.
TCT to EP 617.4 TCT to EP. Okay, password updated successfully. What else do I need to redo? I think it was the. I think that might be it. So just exit this prompt, click resume, enter OK. And that just theoretically that should just throw me back into the. There we go. Mini hack there. So waiting for this to refresh again, and I should get some more points. Did that not work? I'm connected. There we go.
Oh, what'd you get? How many?
Oh,
Perfect
just came in.
score. Nice. What happened?
So I think the last few was just the ZMap, the FTP, and then the Firefox pop-up thing, and then I redid the password policies.
Okay.
Well, I didn't redo it, but I set the new password, which was what was the actual problem right here. Change insecure password for user J Wells. And that was it.
There you go. And perfect timing.
Thank you.
That's pretty funny. Just a few notes I'll finish up our meeting with here and we can move on. This recording will be made available after Cody gets to go through it, make sure it's what he wants out there because it's his recording. So, and then Cody, if you want me to do any video edits or anything, you're more than welcome to try to do them yourself. I know you can, but if you want me to do them, I will. And then we'll get this out to everybody as soon as possible. Probably, I mean, Cody, ideally, I'd like to get it out by Monday.
Okay.
So I'll share a link to it with you so you can download it and then
Okay,
you can take
you.
a look at it because our next round is next weekend. So
Oh, it is?
Isn't it the 13th?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
I like the troubleshooting part.
Yeah, the troubleshooting part was really good. And
Yes.
and the one thing that, you know, you're like, oh, my monotone voice, what it did was show that you stay calm and just keep thinking things through. So Sarah, Tanya, are there any questions you have at this point? Was it helpful?
Yeah, it was. And you're right about the troubleshooting part. That's interesting.
Yeah, it gives you some things to think about during competition so you don't just stop, right? So yeah, the NetLab is the equipment resource for Valencia. So yeah, that's it. So yeah,
Can you tell me which ones are the 2016, which course has 2016 images?
It's under the CyberPatriot course. You know what, Melvin, let me go through it again because it's been a while. Send me an email to remind me and then I'll look tonight and send you an email, okay?
Oh, you can just do it in the next meeting so everyone knows.
Right. Well, and I'll try to
Mr. Osborne, can you still hear me?
Yes, Cody, what's going on?
Okay, I need to rejoin the meeting now because my Zoom meeting is being weird. It just crashed. Like
Okay.
I can't see anyone in the meeting, so I have to rejoin it quickly.
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
So yeah, Shivam, that is our online course. There's a lot of virtual machines in there, Shivam. So all you gotta do is log in and then you'll schedule a lab reservation for yourself. And then we have Cisco curriculum in there. We have Windows 10 curriculum in there. We have Linux curriculum. We have a lot of stuff for hands-on practice. And we also have CyberPatriot images in there. So all of that, the CyberPatriot images are old, but they're good for practice if you haven't been doing it. Okay. All right. All right. Well, Cody, I don't know if he's back in yet. He's pretty fat.
I'm back.
Okay. So I think I'm going to end the meeting now. We were a little bit early on the end, but I think it was very helpful, Cody. You did a lot of great things and it'll help calm the nerves of some of our middle schoolers as well. So thanks for doing that.
Thank you.
And you guys have a great weekend and we'll see you on, Monday if you want to do online or Wednesday for sure.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.